What's happening, everybody? Matt Frankelov here. High Energy Friday. It is Friday. I am super happy it's Friday. Just had to sport a little apparel today, huh? Look at this. A little Captain America shirt. You guys know I'm a fan. So today is our Chats with Matt live session. Come and chat with Matt. My name is Matt. My company's the DeRosa Group. If you guys aren't familiar, there it is, DeRosa. We are live right now on LinkedIn. We are live on DeRosa Insiders, our Facebook community, and we're also live on YouTube, not MeTube, YouTube. Where they call it YouTube because you guys can submit what you guys want to us to talk about on YouTube. If you guys want to join me live, man, here's a link. I'll grab this link right here. Click this link. I'm about to post. You guys can join me live. Jordan Nabiku, please make sure that goes out everywhere. I think that's just showing up on YouTube. If that's not going on LinkedIn and YouTube, if you guys could please spin that link right now to LinkedIn and it's on YouTube, LinkedIn and Facebook, DeRosa Insiders. If you guys want to join me live, man, come and talk some real estate shop. If not, I got a bunch of stuff I can throw out to talk to you guys about. We've actually been getting some emails from people that want me to answer some questions live. Love to do that. Love answering questions. Love talking shop. So I got some questions I'll jump into in a second here. Really interesting stuff. Really, really interesting stuff we're going to jump into. But if you guys want to join me live, hi, how are you? You are who submitted those questions, I think, Sabrina. So Sabrina, if that's you, my friend, click the link, hop in. If you guys want to join me live, like my friend Sabrina may be doing right now, you guys get either this Schwanky, not this one, this is mine, but this Schwanky DeRosa backpack here, or you guys get a signed copy of that of Raising Private Capital. Your pick. You guys tell us what you want, we'll give it to you. Okay. Facebook user looking for a refi to commercial loans. Since we reinvest the proceeds back to real estate, do you think we should, number one, take out part of the loan and part HELOC, or two, take out the loan entirely and pay interest while we're looking for a new deal? Okay, my friend, Facebook user, if you want to come on live, I'll answer that for you. But here's my 2 cents. Well, I'm waiting for Sabrina to get the link and jump on live here so we can talk Sabrina's questions. There's Sabrina in the green room. Sabrina, hang tight for a second. I'm going to pop in with this question here on Facebook. What HELOC or permanent loan on a refi? Okay, age-old question. Here's my answer. It depends on what the down leg solution you have for that capital is. If you're looking for some extra cash that's going to sit on the wall and say, "What's up, Jim Witt, man? I miss you, buddy. Hope you're well." If you're looking for money that just sits on the shelf that you can tap when you do, that you want to do a fix and flip, you want to jump and do a deal if a deal shows up, and just have like reach for it and just more capital you can throw out there when you throw it out, type of thing, then that is a HELOC. It is money you don't necessarily need right now, but it is money that you want to have available when you need it. Here's why HELOCs are amazing. HELOCs are amazing. And lines of credit are amazing because you can use them when you do, and you pay for them when you use them. You got to pay a monthly fee when you use them, and when you don't use them, then you don't have to pay. They're free, right? They just kind of sit there, and they're there to be available when you do. Claudia, I see you in the green room too. Welcome. Sabrina, you might be having tech difficulties. I don't see your face. When I see your face there in the green room, you got to have your camera on, then I'll know that you're ready to pop in. So my Facebook user friend, Claudia, is that you? Give me a thumbs up if you asked the Facebook question about refi or HELOC. Thumbs down. I don't know if Claudia, you can hear me. Maybe there's a lag, but I'll finish answering that HELOC or question. If you guys have a long-term deal, you're going to take the capital and roll it over into like a long-term project that it's going to be like, I'm going to go buy this long-term rental with the money I'm pulling out of the refi for a property, then that is a place where you're going to do a refi because it's fixed rate of return, and you know that it'll be a fixed interest rate going into a semi-fixed rate of return deal. The reason why a refi is good is that the interest rate's fixed. And if you put it into a thing with a semi-fixed rate of return, your cash flow is also fixed, right? The reason why refis are bad is that it is, whether you need the money or not, you're not going to start paying interest on it. So if the money's just going to sit in your checking account, you don't want to do a refi unless you've got a down leg for the money pretty quickly. Okay, that's what we got. Sabrina, I know I'm still not seeing your face, so I'm going to jump to Claudia. So Sabrina, if you can fix your tech, when I see your camera on there, I'll pop you in and we can go through your questions, which I have here. So Matt Grace, good to see you too. Andrea, good to see you. Andrea, give me a second here. I'll pop into your question. So I can fix that camera. Awesome. Don't ever buy a Logitech Brio, right? Logitech Brio is not the camera you guys want. It's very expensive and it does not, it gets blurry like this because it thinks it's smarter than it really is. All right, Claudia, popping you in. You ready? Can you see me, Claudia? Thumbs up. What the heck? I'm just going to pop you in. Okay, cool. What's up, Claudia? How are you?
Good, good. That was actually my question, the refi question.
Well, good. Well, tell me more. Tell me more. Do you have a down leg yet of the thing that you're gonna do with the money?
It's gonna be back into commercial real estate.
Okay.
So it's just whether we should be paying interest for the time period that we're still looking for our next deal,
Okay.
or should we have the flexibility of a HELOC? I think a concern I may have is that, because the economy is going like in a downward spiral for all the media that's going on, that maybe the banks want to contract and then maybe take away the HELOC. Do you think that may be a possibility, or have you seen that happen?
What would have to hit the fan blades. Yeah, for banks to really start contracting. I've only seen banks contract a little bit, and that's a necessary contraction because deals are starting to get a little squirrely, right? Like cap rates are getting even tighter or whatever. It's good that banks are pulling back, but I've not seen. I mean, I was investing in 2008. I'm not seeing that. Right, that's where banks are like pencils down, not doing deals anymore. We're going to just sit and wait a year or two, and we're going to start calling back loans, right? Because of the fine print in our loan agreement that says we can do that. I don't think that we're anywhere near banks getting that squirrely on money in that. I mean, if you're gonna do a HELOC, I don't believe in maxing out anything, like maxing out HELOCs, maxing out refis or whatever. So I wouldn't go any higher than 70 to 75% loan to value, and make sure you still cash flow nice and clean with the with the deal that you're refining or doing a HELOC on, right?
Yeah.
So you want to go down leg into a fixed commercial deal. You don't want to just put the money on the shelf, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But we want to be able to still tap into that equity for down payment for the next one.
Yeah.
As well as save on interest costs if we can.
Here's a good thought, a way to look at it, right? Treat a refi like a 1031 exchange. Okay. Treat it as like we've done 1031s a few times, not tons, but we've done a few of them. And for those of you guys that have done 1031s, it's a journey, right? Like when you begin to sell the property, you should start looking for the next deal to be the next leg of your investment. Same thing for a refi. Refi will take 60 days, I think, to get going on the deal. So don't start looking for the next investment once you've refinanced and closed and the check's in your hand, because that's actually kind of upside downing your cash flow for a while, right? You want to treat that refi check as something that you want to have in your hand for not very long, that you can put into your next deal, and that the new deal can at least outperform the rate of return you're paying on the refinance. If you're refinancing it like 5.5%, 6%, make sure the new deal.
Our interest is 5.5%. You're right on the spot.
I've been around the block, my friend. That's funny. Let's say the next deal just needs to perform at a better, not a 5.5%. Don't think cap rate. Cap rate's a kind of a distraction. You shouldn't be thinking about that. Think about the cash on cash return, right? The cash on cash should be. I probably wouldn't do it if it was south of 10% on the deal, assuming you'd laid that money out of your own pocket. So then you're making what they call a yield spread. to start talking fancy pants talk, you're making a 4.5% yield spread on the money you're putting into the deal.
Understand.
Right? Yeah, after management, after everything. Okay.
Okay.
Hey, Michael, I see you in the green room. Sabrina, I can still see your name there, but I don't see your picture. I want to talk to you. So try and fix your tech, my friend. So, matter of fact, Sabrina, I'm going to do you a favor. I'm going to boot you. I'm going to kick you out of the studio. Okay, you can get back in now, though. Okay, so log back in using the link you should already have, Sabrina. Okay, hope you can hear me. Okay, so Claudia, does that help? I mean, do you have a down leg yet? Do you have like an option, like options that you've looked at yet for deals?
We mainly focus in the Jacksonville market, and it's still pretty. The cap rates are still pretty low there, so we are like looking into different markets, trying to diversify our market exposure at least. Just because Florida, there's a lot of like insurance issues. There's even talks about rent control at this point, where I think majority probability may not happen. But then just from a location standpoint, that'd be probably good to like, diversify.
Yeah. Okay. No, I like that. One more thing before I let you go. I don't, if your bank is willing to do a little bit of both, right? Because in your question you typed here on the social channel is that refi and HELOC, a little bit of two scoops of ice cream, right? I don't know any bank that'll do that, but
yeah, this one's a credit union.
You gotta love credit unions. They just make their own rules, man. I mean, yeah. So good. So they'll do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're the ones that actually suggested it, because originally we were looking for 700,000 in proceeds, but they said that they're kind of comfortable at 600 and they are willing to upsize, whether it's through a line of credit or just a loan upsize to meet the same terms later on in a later date. So that's where the HELOC started thinking, like, why should we take out the full 600 in a loan if we can kind of save on interest expense for a little bit?
I like that.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't go 50-50. If they'll do 600K refi and then 100K HELOC, that probably would be a deal. And treat that HELOC as just in case money. You guys want operating capital. You guys want to try a marketing campaign, try and do some like direct to seller solicitations or something like that. Treat that as like business
credit card.
Capital. Yeah, like credit card.
Not as a down payment.
What's that?
Not as a down payment for the next deal.
No. Don't ever use a HELOC for a down payment on a deal unless it's a short-term fix and flip. Right? You got treat a HELOC like a hot potato, man. Get it in your hand and get it back out, right? Because the reason being is that rates can shift, and if banks get really, really conservative and start recalling, the HELOC's the first thing they're gonna go after. Right? Okay. So don't ever put use a HELOC and take it from somebody who's done it. Don't ever take HELOC and put it in a long-term deal, right? Because rates shift and everything. It's a mess. You want to be nimble with a HELOC, okay? So use the refi capital for long-term purchases. Use the HELOC for business growth money that you might be able to grow and then get it back, or for short-term like fix and flip, like buy reno and refi BRRRR strategy kind of stuff. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Awesome. You're welcome, Claudia. Hey, listen, real quick, for people to reach out to you, people are asking for the name of that credit union you're talking to. So,
are they?
Multiple people. I've got multiple people right now saying, "Hey, what's the name of the credit? Was it credit? Was it credit?" So, if you could put that into the Facebook channel, that would be awesome. I see you came in off of Insiders, right?
Yeah. I mean, the credit union is based in Jacksonville, Florida, and just to be honest with everyone here, this deal is a Airbnb 8-unit deal. So I spent so much time Google all my contacts, just trying to get good financing. This is probably the best terms I've gotten over the last 6 months. So I would share the name after I close on the deal, because I don't want my rep to be, too busy with others. You know what I mean? I want him to treat me first, just because of all of the pain that I've gone through in the past 6 months, just trying to get a lender. So
I understand.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Once we close, please send an update. If you mind putting more details of the deal itself into Insiders, we'd love to hear more about it. And that. So, okay. Yeah, keep us in the loop. I want to do more like deal chat on Insiders, not just DeRosa stuff, but like stuff you guys are working on too. So put that out there. Could you email us at livesession@derosagroup.com? Identify yourself as Claudia that joined me live, and we'll confirm that through your Facebook handle. And we want to send you a lovely gift for joining me live, which would be a signed copy of Raising Private Capital or a awesome DeRosa backpack if you want one.
I have the backpack already because I participated in DeRosa 16. So
cool. Thank you.
When's the DeRosa 17 coming out?
I'm working on some cool stuff right now. Bear, keep me in the stay in tune. We might be doing a partnership with somebody who's got a deal that they need a lot of help in Atlanta. So I might have a deal in Atlanta that we're working on. And Irva and Justin just spent 3 days on the road meeting with brokers in Charlotte, Greenville, and Charleston. So they heard of some off the market stuff in the Carolinas and stuff like that. So stay tuned, my friend. I'm hoping I can produce something we'll close by the end of the year so we can get everybody a 2022 tax loss. So stay tuned. Okay. Signed copy of Raising Private Capital. It is. Email us. Okay. And Jordan, send her a swag bag. That's a good idea. I know she doesn't have that because we just came out with those. So please, Jordan, connect with Claudia offline and get her address so you can send her a swag bag, please. Cool. Claudia, I'm going to drop you. I got a whole line of folks that want to talk to me. This is awesome. We're having a little chats with Matt party today. I'm going to drop you. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for working with us on DC 16 and keep us in the loop. You're into some exciting stuff, my friend. Talk to you soon.
Take care.
Bye. Okay. Michael, I had you up next. Chris, you are on deck. Sabrina, please get your tech fixed. And then Sabrina, if you can hear me, once I can see your face here in my little sub in the green room, I'll know that you have your camera on. So if you can turn your camera on, then I can see you, and I'll know that I'll be able to see you and talk to you to bring you in. Michael, you are up on deck, or you're up. Chris, you're next.
Hey, there we go. I never used this platform before, so it's all new to me.
StreamYard, we like StreamYard a lot. This is for those who want to know. We're using StreamYard, which is an awesome platform. So we're live right now, Michael, on the DeRosa Group YouTube page. We're also live on DeRosa Insiders, which is a Facebook channel. And we're also live on LinkedIn. Which one did you come in on?
I joined on the YouTube and Facebook page. So I'm not on LinkedIn yet. That's not something I know I got to get on it. But
we're learning. We're new as a company to LinkedIn as well. But we started doing more promotion and attention to it, and it's been awesome. It's been taken off. So I'm not saying like LinkedIn's the next like TikTok or whatever, but it's a more professional way to get your word out. So I recommend anybody watching
for private investors and stuff. A lot of investors are saying to get private money and hard money lenders and stuff. That's a good source to be on.
An absolute mountain of spam. Like I'm talking about 10 pounds of spam in a 5-pound bag coming out of LinkedIn. So much. Like just bullshit, man. Lenders and people that are trying to sell you Bitcoin and all that. But you also get good stuff too. So to me, it's worth sorting through it. So. Anyway, how can I help you today, man? What can I?
I'm just here to learn. I'm trying to get my feet wet a little bit. I don't have any investment properties, so I did join with bigger pockets. I joined the multi-unit, the rookie boot camp too. I joined that one, house hacking. So I'm actually doing 3 of their boot camps right now. So I'm just trying to dive in, head first with this and. Hopefully by the end of the 10 weeks, get confident and starting to, put some stuff together.
Okay. What's like, what's like give me one roadblock you're on right now. Like, give me like a thing that's standing in your way you don't have to figure out. Like, whether it's getting money, getting deals, whatever. Like, give me one thing that I can like.
You know well, to make it real quick, I kind of invested in some gurus back in 2007 and 2008 and spent a little fortune in that with traveling and all that. I spent a hell lot of money and got nothing out of it. It was garbage mentorships and all that. So I just,
welcome to the club, man. Well, we've all gone the guru route at some time, man.
Yeah. So I'm actually a real estate broker here in Chicago. So, I understand the realtor part of things very, very well. So I know how to, I know markets, I know property values and all that real well because I do that full time. It just, I need to get more of the investor mindset going here and then get more, start building a network of people, that I could, because, this is a lot to do by yourself. So, that's
you don't have to
be people know what they're doing.
What market are you in?
Chicago.
Okay. Are you trying to invest in Chicago? Where do you want to
I would like to start in Chicago here, and I'm working on getting my license now in Florida. I would like to get down to the Tampa area. And so right now, because I live here, I want to be able to find right now what I'm looking for myself is like a multi-unit, which I can house hack with kind of deal. So that's what I want to do here.
Great place to start.
And then I know that there's a lot of emerging markets around the country, like the Carolinas I'm hearing, down in Tennessee, just different pockets that are really good for investing right now. So once I get a little more confident in what I'm doing, and I know I could, start making moves, because I just got killed years ago, and I'm very hesitant because of that. To really move forward. I'm trying to be very careful, probably too careful.
Michael, if I had, I got so many battle scars, man. I mean, I've had so much bad shit happen to me in this business. At the end of the day, I'm not saying shake it off. I'm not. But at the end of the day, you got to keep moving.
You have to.
What other choice you got? Like that's it. You got to keep moving.
Absolutely.
So I would say I would put your primary focus on the house hack. Once you get that done, that is a bragging point you can put out to investors. The Florida market is incredible. I got a friend who's on. He's on deck. He's after Chris here is my man Ryan. He's in on insiders too, under us insiders as well as Ryan Solé. So you should hit him up because he's got a juggernaut of a business going on in Tampa. So you two should
put his name in the chat.
Huh?
Could you put his name in the chat so I could look him up and maybe hit him up on Facebook or something?
There it is. Ryan Solé is the man in Tampa. There he is. Right. Oh, Ryan, he was in his car a second ago. I just lost him. Hope he can log back in. But yeah, Ryan Solé, S-A-U-L-L-E. I hope that went on.
Spell that again. I don't see it in the chat. That's Ryan. What was it?
Solé, S-A-U-L-L-E. I feel like my comments may only be going to YouTube for some reason, but that's okay. There he is. It just got. Look, it's got there it is. Ryan Solé is the man in Tampa. See, like I can do like news feed here. I can like post stuff. I love this. I love the StreamYard thing. Send him a direct message. He's my buddy. He'll help you.
I can do that on here, right? Off of here, or
yeah, hit him up on Facebook.
Okay.
He's in.
Oh, just hit him on Facebook. Awesome.
He's a Dorosa partner. He and I do a lot of work together. Yeah,
Now, Matt, where are you out of again? Where
I'm in Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Okay, I heard that's a good area.
I live just north of Philly. My office is down in Trenton. Ryan and I are doing a project together in Tampa, and that. But he does a lot of like buy, fix, and flip, or buy, fix, and buy, fix, and Airbnb down in the Florida market because that's just the way you play that game down there, right?
I heard your area is pretty good.
No, I don't invest around here. I don't invest in my own backyard. There's other market, but we've grown out of that, so we used to invest in Jersey and everything like that too. So I got to let you go. I got a whole deck of people that want to talk.
Awesome. But, nice meeting you, man.
Two things. Hit up Ryan Solé. There's two homeworks for you, right? Hit up Ryan Solé and get yourself pre-approved ASAP for a house hack, or as you call in Chicago, go buy yourself a 3 flat or a 4 flat, right?
Yeah.
And do the house hack, because the house hack is the best way to minimize your expenses so that you can really focus more on the investing, less on the brokerage stuff. But the house hack is absolutely 10 times out of 10. It's the best way to get started in real estate investing, hands down. Right?
Awesome. Thanks for
All
the
right.
info, man.
Okay. Jordan, please hit up Michael DiGiovanni on DeRosa Insiders to get him a awesome thank you swag package. Please hit him up as a DM. Okay, Jordan?
Awesome. Thank you, Matt.
Michael.
Awesome.
Take care, brother. Bye-bye. Okay, next up, Chris. Here you go. What's up, man? How are you?
Hey, Matt. Yeah, here in Portland, Oregon. Yeah, I'm a full-time real estate investor.
My sister lives in Salem and keeps begging me to come out there and visit. I've never seen the Pacific Northwest. Would love to get out there at some point. So
you got to come out and visit my brewery. Binarybrewing.co.
Do you have not? What is it again?
Binarybrewing.co.
Binarybrewing.co. Jordan and Nabiku, please post that link. Get my man Chris some love, man. Binarybrewing.co. I'll trade you t-shirts, by the way. I'll trade you Binary Brewing
let's
t-shirt
do it.
for a roast t-shirt, right?
That sounds amazing.
Do you make anything gluten-free? I believe it or not, people don't know that about Matt Faircloth, that I have celiac, so I can't have my lovely IPAs that I used to drink all the time and everything like that. So what do you got gluten-free for a guy like me?
So celiac, like that means absolutely no gluten. So some of the lighter beers are
believe it or not, I can have like Heineken, I can have like Corona, those kind of beers, because they're so low in footprint on it. It actually doesn't show up on the celiac scale. But do you make like ciders or seltzers or anything like that?
We used to have a cider company. We do have some really, really light beers, like a nice Helles lager. Our Kolsch is really, really light. So those are going to be kind of like your Heinekens and Corona. Really, really clean. But
okay. The cleaner the better. That's okay.
We always have a cider on tap. We just don't make it.
Okay. I'm going to send my sister, who lives in Salem, over there to say hi and tell you that she's Matt Faircloth's brother. Her name's Sarah. So I'll send her by to say hi to you. How can I brighten your real estate life today, my friend?
Absolutely.
What can I do for you?
The brewery is the fun hobby. Real estate's the full-time gig.
Cool.
Yeah. We are probably kind of like you guys, right before you exited out of your local market. We're heavily invested in our local market. I run a property management company, and essentially we're looking to take the next step, investing in other markets. Like we're, looking, at Jacksonville, Columbus, Birmingham, South Carolina, North Carolina.
Columbus, Ohio.
Say what? Yeah, Columbus, Ohio.
I've heard good things. We're not in that market, but I know multiple people that are like killing it in Columbus.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
careful naming states as markets, though. North Carolina is an enormous market. So like zoom in. Raleigh and Charlotte are overplayed. They're overdone. But we're doing well in the Piedmont Triad. Also, Fayetteville's a rising market. We owned in Fayetteville until we sold in Fayetteville in January. But it's a rising. The rents are rising, and there's still room to grow, I think, in Fayetteville. Also, Wilmington are two rising markets that are like sub-tier, kind of below the radar markets. So, 2 cents.
Cool. Yeah.
I know you didn't ask me for markets, but I get. So, do we want to talk real quick on how to pivot from being a local to a regional or a across the country investor?
Yeah, I think that's a great.
All right. What do we got? Are we looking to? Because again, I used to have 115 units in Trenton, New Jersey. I went to Trenton, ran it myself, did the showings, got battle scars to prove it. Most of my gray hair comes from that. You know what show? I don't really. I'll go ahead there. And that. So the question is like, do you want to scale and transition out of, and do we need to sell Portland to make next leg happen, or can you fire yourself from this and try and get somebody doing that for you so that you can pull out and do the next level?
So I have an operations manager for our property management company. She's
All right.
kind of running the show.
Okay.
I'm trying to like transition out of that into being an asset manager and just, pointing them in the right direction, making sure capital improvement projects are getting done.
Okay.
So and like as far as the day-to-day goes, I'm not heavily invested time-wise.
What do you put in time-wise?
Like maybe 25.
Can you get it down
30.
to 10?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you get it down to 10, that's how I transitioned, right? I got Trenton down to like 10 hours per week. And I wasn't able to be as awesome as you, where I was able to duplicate myself with an ops manager, right? And maybe it's as simple as getting your ops manager an assistant or throwing a little bit more money behind them and kind of walk away a bit from the revenue that the PM company's making you, and you got to invest in it a little bit so you can, kind of like downleg your revenue here so you can make a lot more revenue somewhere else, right? And that. So maybe your ops manager needs a little help, a little more training or systemization processes. There's so many different ways that you can fire yourself more from Portland, right? And so that's like first order of business is get yourself down to about 10 hours a week sustainably in Portland. And then while you're doing that, that's what I did. I scaled down to about 10 per week, and then I focused a lot on market selection was my first leg. And don't drink the Kool-Aid of thinking like, oh, I'm the only one that can manage my assets, right? So we bought a 49 unit in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. That was my first non-managed asset that I didn't run myself. And I bought it thinking I was going to run it. But my awesome wife, the real estate investor lady, Liz Faircloth, she was like, why? She's like my muse, she's like, why don't you try another PM company running it for you? And if you're not happy with them, you can always do it yourself later. And she was so right. So don't think that you have to be the one to run assets that are not in your backyard. Have you accepted that yet, or do you need to accept that?
Sorry, barking dog. So yeah, we're happy to partner with other property managers. We're a part of NARPM, and essentially, like, we're trying to recruit other property managers in areas that we like to open up those metros for us.
Okay.
And so like that's kind of a key strategy we're focusing on right now.
So the biggest thing you need in a new market is that property manager. So it gets discounted. And so we made the mistake of getting into a market like, it's going to be for us, Winston-Salem, North Carolina is one of our markets, right? But we chose a bad PM in Lexington, Kentucky. So hired the wrong PM. They wrapped me around a tree. So I had to unwind that and then hire the right PM. And so obviously select the demographics of a market that works. Columbus, Ohio is a good market because it's got the university, it's got jobs, it's got, a lot of influx of job diversity coming in. So maybe that's a market you want to pick. But second leg of that is PM company, boots on the ground, go visit that market, meet the PM, tour properties they manage. What's great about you is you already know what, crappy property management looks like, or what good property management looks like, because it's what you do. And you know what a company that's not run the way yours is, looks like too, right? So my tip to you is market first, but then immediately after that management. Don't go market, then deals. Go market, management, then deals, and then down leg from there. How are you going to fund these deals?
We have a few financial partners,
Okay.
as well. We have a list of, 100, 200 investors who are interested, and
you're good to go, man.
Yeah, we've got a pretty solid track record, and essentially, we just need to find the deal, and
we'll find the market first. Remember, everybody wants to find the deal, find the market, like infiltrate. Like, okay, Chris Shepard is now future like big time owner in Columbus, South Carolina, Columbia, South Carolina, or Columbus, Ohio, right? So choose the market. then then management, then deals. So make that your succession, only because it'll happen pretty quick. You find a deal, you don't want to go scramble around and find a management on a deal that you have under contract. That's the worst, because you might end up having to accept accept like a mediocre manager, and that sucks. That that's not gonna make you money. So anything else standing in your way? Did it help?
Oh, absolutely, ton of help. God, I just feel like I am standing in my own way in terms of
all right,
just, like, going to picking a market and doing it, and it's
all right. What is a action that makes you mildly uncomfortable that you can do by next Friday? Give me a little discomfort, something that makes you like, oh shit, I don't want to do that, but you have to. Something that makes you uncomfortable, but you have to do.
Well, pick a market and then like make 50 phone calls to potential relationships.
All right. How about this? Pick a market and buy yourself a plane ticket by next Friday.
Yeah.
No, you have to fly there by Friday, but
Yeah.
and it could be you could be flying there in November, right? But pick a market and then say, okay, I'm going to go visit this market, and then once you get your plane ticket, like, okay, I got to have meetings, I got to do my drive arounds or whatever. So is that like uncomfortable enough to make you like excited also?
I mean, I was planning on going to Jacksonville already, so.
All right. How about you buy a plane ticket to Jacksonville by next Friday? How about that?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay. Who's going to hold you accountable to it?
Well, my brother, business partner, I'll message him and say we need to buy tickets.
All right. Did you come in off of DeRosa Insiders, YouTube or LinkedIn?
Facebook.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I got people on Facebook right now. I'll hold them accountable. I'm trying to evolve Insiders to a point where we actually get things done together. I'm not trying to create business partners. That may happen, but the Insiders is really about us all winning together, whether it's helping DeRosa win or helping you win too. So if you came in off of Insiders, I've got somebody right here on Insiders, which is awesome. It won't tell me who they are, but somebody in Insiders is already raising their hand. So here's the deal. That person that just said, I will on Insiders, send Chris right now a DM, okay? Introduce yourself, whoever you are, and send Chris a DM. And then you got to agree with me that you're going to DM him, and let's just say noon by Friday next week, okay? So I now got somebody who's not going to harass you until you buy that plane ticket. And they're going to turn you into me if you don't, okay?
All right, that's awesome.
All right, brother. All right, man. I'm going to fly out there to go visit you, put you in
come visit. We'll take the boat out and maybe play a little golf.
I love that. I want to see a selfie of you in Jacksonville on DeRosa Insiders. That's what I want to see. Welcome to Jacksonville sign with Chris Shepard sitting in front of it, okay?
Let's do it.
All right, brother. I hope that helped, man. Thank you so much for joining us. Jordan, please send Chris a DM so you can send him a bag.
Well, we're trading T-shirts, right?
Dude, absolutely. Jordan, please send Chris a message. I really will trade an I'm a large, medium or large, one of the two.
I'm a large as well.
Send Chris a DM with the DeRosa office mailing address, and get Chris a nice DeRosa shirt and some other swag too, please. And send that message to him offline. Cool. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate you, brother. All right. I believe Sabrina, you're here. I love that about you. There you are. How are you?
Good. Thank you for.
We got the tech fixed.
Well, I couldn't on my laptop, so I'm using my phone.
There's so much tech out there today. You got to make it all work, right? Well, welcome to Chats with Matt. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Matt. So I have your list of questions that you emailed to us, kindly enough, to livesession@derosagroup.com. Thank you for shooting us an email. Would you I don't know if I need to read your email. Why don't you just tell me a bit briefly about what's going on, and I'll see if I can help you. Sound good?
Okay. I am a freelancing musician, and I need to start renovating my old house. And
what do you play? You're a freelance musician? That's interesting. What do you play?
I play piano.
Cool. Okay. Well, how early in life did you learn to play the piano?
I started, I guess, 6, and so I've been, playing and teaching piano for many years since I graduated.
Do you believe that you have to start playing the piano early in life to be really good at it?
Well, depending on the definition of good, I mean, there are people who start in midlife, and if you're not going to be a professional musician, you could gain enough proficiency to enjoy playing whatever type of music you like.
Okay. I learned when I was a kid,
Yeah.
and I became too cool for it when I was a teenager, as many teenagers do. And I'm now 46 years old, and I want to get back into it. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah, I'd like to. My brother-in-law is fantastic. He's never stopped. He started when he was early in life and never stopped. Now he plays in a band. He's fantastic. And he's amazing. I feel like he's working at showing me a magic trick when he plays the piano. It's just, what he's able to do with his hands. And that. So anyway, cool. Well, thank you for sharing that. You're inspiring me maybe to get out there and get piano lessons myself. So,
well, while I was listening to your conversation with Claudia, I realized you're in my neck of the woods.
yeah, I live in New Hope. I live up in New Hope, Pennsylvania, about half an hour north of Philly. So,
Cool.
if I buy a piano, maybe I got to buy a piano first. I don't have a piano,
Ah.
but you can get it for free. There's people giving away nice
That's
pianos
true.
for free. You just have to move them, which I can have it moved.
Yeah, when you're buying secondhand pianos, though, you would be much better off if you hire like a technician to go with you. Yeah, you really
Yeah.
have to look inside. Some pianos will look like pianos on the outside, but then they're not worth you spending $300 to move them, and then you have to spend another $300 to dispose of them if somehow something breaks.
It's a crummy piano.
Yeah. So
Better
but
pay
if
a
you
lot
are
more for a new
serious
one.
about getting an instrument, let me know. Maybe I can,
Maybe I'll talk to you offline about that.
that would be
Okay.
great.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's real estate question. So we're talking former renovating your former home in Philadelphia. Okay. So you got a former home you used to live in Philadelphia. Is it occupied right now or is it vacant?
It's vacant.
Okay. What do we want to do?
So I would like to replace the windows just to make it
Okay.
improve it, and in order to rent it out. I originally was going to short-term rental, but right now, because of the city regulations are changing, and then my house is not currently zoned for CMX3, despite the fact that it's in the Italian market area. So then there's a good chance that I'm not allowed to make it into a Airbnb, short-term rental. So I'm gonna just try to see if I can just get it fixed up and then rent it out, just so that I can sooner, gain income.
Why wouldn't you just sell it?
Why won't I? Or
Why don't you just sell it?
why won't I sell it? That is a possibility. And what are your thoughts about that? Selling it and then using the assets to buy another one to rent that one out? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, well, here's why, right? If you used to live in the house, then it's a high likelihood that you can keep almost all, if not all, of the proceeds tax free, right? If you are going to turn it into a rental property long term, then once you do liquidate it many years from now, you will have to pay tax on it or do a 1031 exchange, right? There is a great tax loophole or tax advantage that allows people to sell single family homes and keep $250K of the profit if you are single and $500,000 of the profit if you are married. Okay.
Yes.
And so what I like about that rule for you is if you're married, you can keep up to $500,000 of the proceeds and do another thing with it. Then you can go and invest in whatever. You can invest out of state. You can buy another thing in Philadelphia and you can lever up. Don't get me wrong. South Philly is fantastic. And that's a good zoning arrangement you have there too. But I like that you could liquidate tax free and buy something else in Philadelphia, right?
Okay.
So that's my 2 cents is maybe you go and renovate it and sell it, sell it and as an investment property. And as long as you've lived in it for, again, don't quote me. Talk to your CPA on this one, but I think it's 3 of the last 5 years. Maybe it's 2 of the last 5 years. But it's not that long in the scheme of things.
You're right. It's 2 years out of the past 5 years. So
Okay.
yeah.
So if I were you, I would sell personally because it gives you the most freedom, right? You want to do an Airbnb? Great. Sell it. Take those proceeds, buy another property, do Airbnb on that, and lever up, and then you can leverage some financing on it and everything like that. And you can pull that equity out and go into your next deal. If you go and do an Airbnb on that deal, then you're making it a rental and it has to get 1031 to get out of it.
Yeah.
Or you refi. I mean, again, don't get me wrong. I mean, the other tax-free way to pull capital out of it is to invest in it, get it financially performing, get it stabilized, and then refinance it and borrow the money out to do another thing.
So, if I then keep it in my name, since that I want to have that window of selling it within 5 years.
Yes.
So then
don't transfer out of an LLC. If you're going to keep it, if you're going to sell it, then sell it in your own name. That's the way you got to do that. If you want to keep it, then you can do a quick claim deed to move it out of your name into an LLC, and then you're protected from asset protection over there.
So 2 questions. If I do decide to keep it and turn this house into a long-term rental or short-term rental, then you do think that it's best to just right away put into an LLC if I want to keep it.
I would never keep a rental long-term in my own personal name.
Okay.
So you never know. We live in a very sue-happy country, so I would not hold it long-term in your own personal name if you're going to make it a rental. So.
And then the other side about this question is that if I want to sell it right away, then maybe I shouldn't renovate it. I did put on the new roof just like last week. But if I want to sell it, would it make sense that I should just sell it without doing any further renovation?
There are things that will return capital to you, and there's things that won't, right?
Right.
New windows likely would help you. A new roof is absolutely going to help you in that. So, but you go beyond that, right? You start talking about gutting the inside and making the kitchen. If you really want to go through the brain damage of doing a fix and flip on that property, you are compartmentalizing who will buy it from you, right? If you want to do nice kitchen, nice bath, paint, dress it up to where it's a turnkey owner occupied property, then yeah, you can do that. But it's only an owner occupant that will buy it from you. And maybe there's some leverage there. Maybe you'll get a really great number, worth it. The owner occupied world is changing a lot, interest rate wise and buyer pool wise. There's more and more inventory that's sticking these days. It depends on velocity. It depends on maybe your time capacity too, on whether or not you really would like to, sit on it forever while you renovate it and everything like that. It depends on if you want to get out of the deal, and get your capital out and have that velocity. You can move to your next deal pretty quickly. Does that help?
Yes. So the next scenario, if I then need to refinance after I fix it up and to increase the equity level further, and that means I would need to put a tenant inside in order to show that I have income. Is that right?
You do. Yes.
So then we're talking about probably I need how many months of having rental income being a brand new.
You're talking about you want to Airbnb it, right?
This old house, I need to long-term rental.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would say
because of the zoning.
Okay. Long-term rental, I mean, not that long. 2 months maybe at the most.
Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
not that long. Yeah.
Okay.
With the right bank. With difficult banks, they're all 6 months seasoning, and we want to see rent receipts and we want to see security deposits, everything like that. But with a good bank that does a lot of rental financing, either a small community bank right around that property, or a national bank that does only rental properties, like Lima One Capital or something like that, like a big time, like Guaranteed Rates, another one, and Lima One Capital, LIMA, Lima One is a good only rental company. If Tony Brown's still watching, Tony can post, or some of our other folks are just. Yeah, there's so many people from Philadelphia on DeRosa Insiders. So just do a post. Hey, I'm refinancing a property in Philadelphia. I'm going to do as a rental. Somebody help me with a lender. There's a lot of people on it, and tag me in it. I'll make sure. I'll start tagging other people that I know are Philly landlords to make sure that they get back to you for banks. But the right bank would get you to closing. Maybe they probably would take the application 2 months after your tenant moves in, and you'd close about 4 months after your tenant moves in. Does that make sense?
Okay.
But personally, Sabrina, I like velocity. I like move. So I probably would sell it personally.
I see. Thank you very, very much.
Cool. Sabrina, shoot an email, or Jordan, please send a DM message to Sabrina on DeRosa Insiders or on YouTube. Sabrina sent an email to live session at DeRosaGroup.com. We'd love to send you a thank you package for joining me live today. Okay.
Thank you.
Jordan, please hit Sabrina up. Thank you. Thanks for joining me, Sabrina. Take care.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Ryan Sully. Can you hear me?
What's up, Matt? You hear me?
How are you?
Good. How's it going?
Man, my man Michael that was just on here was asking questions about Tampa, so I plugged you. I don't know if you were in and out. I don't know if you heard me.
Yeah, I did. I jumped out of my car, but yeah, I heard you say it.
Nice. Well, now you're now our official Tampa expert here on YouTube, LinkedIn, and Facebook. So what's going on, man? How are you?
Not much.
Yeah.
Good.
How can I brighten your day, man? What's happening?
Good. Not much. I wanted to run some by. I know we spoke about it in the past.
Go for it.
Good grasp on what we have going on. So I know we tossed around that idea of raising a fund.
Mm-hmm.
I guess what we're seeing going forward, we have a bunch of deals coming in now, which we haven't had.
Yeah.
In I guess the last few months, and I feel like the market's starting to soften, and we don't want to stop. I guess buying. So I'm not in the everything's going to collapse mindset, but I do think money may start being an issue. Like I feel like private lenders in general are going to start.
It already is, right? We're already seeing that. So we're already seeing the down leg in the beginning down leg effects of the changes in the economy on the equity side and on the lending side. So the changes have begun, my friend. So
So I guess my question is, from our point of view, where would you go? Would you start partnering up with, I guess, more lenders, start branching out? Would you, or maybe bring it in-house and start an in-house fund where
we've tried in-house
we
funds
have the
before.
capital already.
Yeah.
Already.
I think it's all of the above. I think that like an in-house fund's a good idea. If you got a good investor base that wants to pop in, you can get a flat rate of return from you guys, or at least maybe a flat rate of return with some upside. I think that's a good idea. I think that people I think Claudia was on here a second ago. Her strategy of attack is good also, meaning like if you own some real estate that's got some equity in it, then you either want to do what you and I talked about, which is to take, a sizable portfolio that has some equity and sell some of the equity in it, right? To sell some of the equity in your existing portfolio, or put what Claudia's talking about doing, put a HELOC on your existing portfolio. What? Oh, here. There you go. Just putting like a line of credit on your existing portfolio so that you can free up some cash. Right now, what it's all about is liquidity, right? So however you get to it, by creating a fund of cash on the shelf, or HELOCs, or selling a little smidge of your existing portfolio so you can have some liquidity to handle changes coming up in the economy. That's where I think liquidity is where it's at. just so if you need to have some cash to weather a storm that may show up, so we can kind of keep our own boats going, fine. If you also maybe need some liquidity so you can hop on opportunities. So however you get to liquidity is fine, but I think that that's who is going to win in the next quarter, not quarter, but like if we're playing football, the next quarter, the next quarter of the football game of real estate life is going to be those that have a lot of liquidity that they can put to work either on themselves or on new deals.
Yeah, that makes sense. And the other thing, if you had a bunch of, say, 2-family rentals, would you consider offloading all of them?
Mm-mm. No, because I wouldn't sell anything right now, because I think that you're either going to leave money on the table if the party keeps going, or you're going to create a problem for yourself from a tax liability standpoint. I get real estate investors don't have a ton of tax problems, but you probably do, because I know you do a lot of flips, right? So I think if you go and liquidate a lot of your portfolio right now, I think that you're better off restructuring debt versus selling. So I wouldn't, unless it's just a slam dunk home run, just can't resist the number that you would get on the property, and you've got a down leg that you would do, like a thing you would do with that capital that would preserve some of that tax liability through a 1031, whatever. So bottom line, I wouldn't sell unless you've got a clear tax shelter to get to do with it. So
makes sense.
Yeah. And liquidating a bunch of duplexes and stuff like that's going to be tough. I mean, I don't know. I can't talk myself into it. I don't see how it works. I think that you're better off either selling some of that equity out or restructuring the debt on it. Maybe bringing in some partners to get liquid. That's what I would do versus selling out, unless you have to. If you really need the liquidity, selling is the quickest way to get it. Just bear in mind, you're probably going to pay at least 30% of your profit, to the IRS.
Yeah, that was just last resort, but yeah, I probably won't go that route. But
yeah, I wouldn't.
I guess on the fund side, if you were to raise, what would you say a minimum would be?
$1 million.
$1 million.
Yeah,
Otherwise,
it's just not going to be worth it. Less than $1 million. If you're raising less than $1 million, the investors aren't going to take you seriously, because $1 million's not less than $1 million is just not that much money to fairly sophisticated investors. Second, it's just not that. It's not going to be enough money to make a real splash in your business. And the legal cost for setting up a fund, it's not going to change. Like it's the same legal fee for setting up a $10 million fund versus setting up a $1 million fund. So why would you pay that same legal fee for doing a $500,000 fund? So, and you don't have to raise it all at once. You could pay that legal fee, and raise as you grow, right? Another way to do it, Ryan, is if you want, here's a hybrid approach for you. Maybe this makes sense. Take the portfolio you got of stabilized rentals, give some ownership of that to the fund. Okay. So the fund kind of walks in with an asset, is a little bit of your existing portfolio, and then push up into new deals with the fund as well. So the fund maybe make it up, 15% of your existing portfolio, and the fund also is going to go and take down its own stuff beyond that. That's just an idea. You don't know if that sticks or not, just making up the idea, but consider that, because then you can walk in and have a bigger fund that's got something. The problem is that a lot of investors aren't going to understand or want to get involved in what they call a blind fund, which is a fund that doesn't own anything yet. It's just invested. The fund has like what they call a thesis, meaning like it's going to go and do something that you define, but it hasn't done the thing yet, and those are kind of hard to raise money on. But if you go in and like, hey, this fund is going to own a chunk of these things, which are seasoned, and it's going to go and do more stuff like that or more other money-making activity. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Yeah. I think it's the best of both worlds. Given that's what you got an existing portfolio of stabilized rentals and you want to grow, that's probably what I would do. So.
Yeah, appreciate it.
All right. Hey, my man Michael, seems like he's a hustler, making some things happen up there in Chicago. Hit you up. He chose Tampa as a market he wanted to get himself into. hit him up to see if he's interested. I think he wanted to talk to you, so I think he hit you up on Facebook. All right.
All right. Yep. All right. Thank you.
Cool, man. Good seeing you as always. Talk to you soon. See you. Bye.
Yes. Talk to him.
Yeah. Yibang, I got you here. Hello. How are you, Yibang?
Hey, Matt. How are you?
I'm good, brother. How are you?
Good, good. Thanks for having me. My wife and I actually just joined the Bigger Pocket multifamily. Oh, yeah.
Your daughter is photobombing you behind you. My son
Yeah.
gets around here all the time on my live sessions, so it's all good.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah, you said you joined the boot camp?
Yes. Last night we just started.
How did it go?
Oh, it's great. I also connected with Peter from New York. Apparently, he was in the last boot camp.
He's awesome.
Yeah. My wife is actually a licensed social worker from Lancaster, PA.
No way.
And, yeah, and I learned, we learned that you guys are doing a build in Lancaster.
Mm-hmm. You know who else is a licensed social worker?
Oh, right. Yeah, okay.
Liz has her master's in social work.
Yeah, I watched the video on BPCon last year, and one of these days I'd love to connect with your family and then introduce each other. So my question is, we're from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Is it somewhat about 2 hours away from where we are now? And I was curious how, when you looking at the market in Lancaster, what attracts you to Lancaster market?
I'll give you a few. I like now, we're just going to make you and I a bunch of new friends right here if you and I talk about Lancaster in front of all these people, but it's okay. Here's what I like about Lancaster. There's a lot of room for growth physically, right? So that you can sprawl the Lancaster market area further. So if new jobs and new companies want to come in and build factories or stuff in Lancaster, they can on the land. If new people want to build apartment buildings, they can in Lancaster. There's a lot of green around Lancaster. That's number one. Number two, the median income of Lancaster County, I believe, is something like $65,000 a year, right? That is well above the national average. And that additionally is well above the average housing cost in Lancaster. Okay, so the spread of average housing cost to average income is very, very favorable. So most people, and affordable tends to have a bad connotation, but Lancaster is perceived to be, in my eyes, a very affordable market. Meaning, like, we have very few rent collection issues in Lancaster. We have very few tenant landlord issues in Lancaster. And so for all those reasons, I like Lancaster. On top of all that, Lancaster has phenomenal job diversity. It's got a hospital, it's got IT, it's got tech, a lot of that, believe it or not. And finally, Lancaster became, if you look at Lancaster before and after COVID, right? Lancaster affinity went up post-COVID because people that lived in Philadelphia and Pittsburgh that are way more dense markets, and also Baltimore too, believe it or not, all migrated to Lancaster because it is perceived to be it is true, a way smaller city that's kind of got a lot of country around it. And so COVID, people wanted to get more space, wanted to get away from density, right? So a lot of density ran to second-tier markets, and Lancaster received a lot of traffic from other places. So for all those reasons, that's why we like Lancaster.
Interesting. Yeah.
So I could join the Lancaster Chamber of Commerce, right?
Yeah, it's so much to learn. I'm, just basically a fairly new investor. We only have like 6 rentals right now, but trying to learn how does multifamily work. The new build that you're working on, is that like apartment building or what type of property?
We're building we own a building in. I have 2 buildings in Lancaster. We have a 49 unit in Elizabethtown.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and we have a 37 unit in downtown Lancaster.
Wow,
Yeah.
nice.
So
We went to college in E-Town.
oh, you did? To
E-Town.
Eton University?
Yeah, E-Town College. Yeah.
Okay. I own the lofts at Savoy, which is just up High Street. You know where the train station in Elizabethtown is?
Do you know?
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah, yeah. This
How
is
are you?
Tiffany. Yeah.
Hi,
Hi. That's what's your name?
Tiffany.
Hi, Tiffany. I'm Matt, and nice to meet you guys. No, we own the. Do you know where the train station in Lancaster in Elizabethtown is?
Yes.
Okay, so across from that, there is an old shoe factory. That's a it's a factory. It's been turned into an apartment building. We own that.
Wow. Okay.
And we're trying to build an apartment building on the parking lot next to that building.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's cool. We had some friends used to live there.
Yes. Yes.
where? And then in the Lofts at Savoy.
And the old factory. Yeah.
We've only owned it since 2000. So if they didn't have a good experience, we've only owned it for a couple of years. So that's
No, it was a long time ago.
that was a very different complex when we bought it. It was it was run by a local guy. He did a good job with it, but we're running it more corporate now and everything like that, and just running it from more of like a strategic standpoint. So it's changed a lot since we purchased it. So it's good, and that market's changed a lot too. I like Elizabethtown as a market. So what can I do for you guys, real quick? Like tip on how to get moving to your next level. You guys are at 6. I'll give you a few choices. How to get from 6 to 20. We'll talk about that. Next level, I already talked about why I love Lancaster. We can talk about that more, but I've already done that. So give me like a quick question I can answer for you.
Yeah, I think we're interested in learning how to scale to the next level.
Yeah.
Multifamily or more single family homes?
Like a small multifamily.
Okay. Okay. Do you guys want to use your own capital, or you want to drink the red Kool-Aid and start doing this, raising capital from people?
I think
for the first one, probably our own capital.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. The biggest thing you got to do is you have to network with brokers that have boots on the ground, that they're connected into the small to mid-sized multi like that, right? Off the top of my head, the guy named Matt Wolf that works for Kislak, Kislak, that is a big time player on small to mid-sized multi in the Lancaster, Pennsylvania area. But like, you don't have to go to him because he sells really big stuff too, but he sells like 5, 10, 20 units as well. There's the typical residential broker that you guys deal with, real estate broker, also themselves can connect you to pretty much anything 9 units or less. They can show you, right? But you also want to ask them, hey, I need to talk to a commercial broker that's next leg up. The companies that I know of that are present in that market that you want to just cold call are Marcus and Millichap, High Properties, HIGH, High. I think they're out of Reading, but they play in Lancaster County as well. And Kislak, that's Matt's company. Matt's kind of a by himself kind of guy. So he's just with Kislak, which is headquartered in New Jersey, but he's heavy in that market. I'm trying to think. But if you guys want to get into that kind of game, you just need to be plugged into the brokers that see those kinds of deals. 6 units, 6 units is like above the just getting started level. So you guys are probably further along than you think you are, right? Who manages your 6 units now? You guys manage yourself?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to keep managing as you scale?
For now, yeah.
Yeah. We're kind of, just went through a tough past 2 years, basically, with the moratorium and then poor management. And so we decided to take back the management and,
I bet you I know who you were using. Don't say their name, but I bet you.
Yeah.
bet you 10 cents I know who you guys hired, but yeah, I get it. I mean, and I can tell you that you can self-manage up to around 30 before it just becomes a job, and it just becomes a full-time thing to run around. But you can, if you use processes and systems and softwares, like you guys could go on to Buildium or Cozy, COZY. I think that's how you spell it.
Yeah.
You could use just automation, but just find automated tools that are there to do rent collection or have tenants turn in work orders to you, whatever, and try and get away as soon as you can from, and again, I learned this too late, the tenants having your cell phone number, because as you grow and scale, that's going to get in your way. So start to use a email or a Google Voice number that's an intermediary between you and the tenant that you can use to grow and scale, and eventually hand that thing over to someone else to have them manage for you. And the reason why I have the number of 30 is around 30 units is where you guys could hire someone, a believe it or not, a employee to work for Tiffany and Yubang to manage your stuff for you.
30.
Sound good?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Right.
Thank you.
Right. Realtors. Systems for 6. Because I can promise you, I was there. 6 turns into 60 a lot faster than you guys think that it will. Okay, I promise you, it's gonna go a lot faster than you think. And so, because of that, you want to have systems like tight now, so that when you get there, you're not. But take it from somebody who knows. Inventing systems at 60 stinks. Inventing systems at 6 is so much easier that you can grow and scale into, versus being like, man, this is a mess. I need systems. You don't want to be the latter. You want to be having systems that are more robust than what you need, and then growing into it versus the other way, and then network heavy with realtors. Okay.
Yeah. I'm licensed in Maryland and Pennsylvania as an agent, so I guess it's just more networking piece. Yeah.
Are you one with a master? Are you a social worker?
Yes, that too.
Yeah, Liz does her MSW. My wife Liz. So, and
Is she actively practicing, or she's basically doing real
most
estate?
investors kind of are social workers, man.
Yes.
Yes.
Practices on our 2 children. A 5-year-old, 8-year-old. So yeah, she doesn't hang a shingle, but I think sometimes she thinks she does. Yeah. Anyway, nice meeting you guys. Make sure you guys send a message over to Jordan. Please hit up Yubang here and Tiffany. That is your name, right, Tiffany?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Jordan, please hit up Yubang and Tiffany. Send them a nice thank you package for joining us here on Insiders. And chats with Matt. I got one more folk in the hopper here. Yubang, I'm gonna let you guys go. Nice to meet you, Tiffany. Take care, guys. See ya. I got Andrea coming up on deck. And then I got to jump. What's up, Andrea? How are you?
Hey, Matt, how are you? I'm just finishing physical therapy, so I was like, let me not move just in case.
What's that?
I'm just finishing physical therapy, so I'm like, oh, let me not move just in case I come up.
I feel better or worse. Sometimes they go PT, you're worse and then better after, right?
Yeah, like it's a bit up and down. It really is. It really is. So really quick, my question. So I've fixed and flipped a lot of houses. I had a partner. He was amazing. He kind of put me under his wing because he was already doing it. He had like 30 or 40 doors. But he brought in the financing. I brought in the construction crew, and I had more time on my hands than he did because he was always traveling for work. And so I kind of project managed a 3-unit from permits to laying foundation all the way till it was done and handing over the keys to the new owners. So I know real estate. I've studied it. I know the knowledge, the terminology, all of that. However, I find myself having trouble with finding funding, even when I have great deals. And they said that's the easy part. I'm like, where? Because it's really not. Like I had a 3-family in Garwood that I wholesaled to somebody else because I couldn't find funding, and I paid for the property. Like the property was paid for. I just needed the rehab funding, and I couldn't find it. And every hard money lender that I went to wanted like $25,000 of my own money that I just didn't have, even though the house, like the 3-family, that side by side had great like the ARV on the house was amazing.
So you're buying when you're doing deals, you're doing a first position mortgage with like a hard money lender. Is that who's coming in first position, or is that what you want to do? First position with a hard money guy or gal?
So I think I'd rather raise private capital.
Yeah, the
I
whole
did
thing?
do through a bank. It really doesn't matter. I just don't know where to start from that part.
Okay. Do you've how's your credit?
It's good. I just hit like 720.
Oh, all right. That's like, I mean, you know, if you're in the sevens, you know, I mean, no reason to go any better than that. I mean, you can get higher than that if you want, but in the sevens.
And I'm also in the military, so I have my VA loan that I haven't utilized.
What?
Yeah, I have not utilized my VA loan
Why?
yet. Once again, I just don't know where to start.
A
Like
VA
for me,
loan is the best gig going, man. I mean, you
right?
cannot
So,
get better than a VA loan. And
and
by the
on
way,
top
thank
of
you for
it,
your service to our country.
thank you. I appreciate it.
Uh-huh.
And then on top of it, like I like my job is very lucrative. So like, and I just started a year ago, but I got injured at work, so I've been out of work for a little bit. But
Okay.
because I switched from the medical field to what I'm doing now,
Okay.
like every bank or every person that I speak to say, oh, you have to be there for 2 years plus, and this, that, and the third.
Shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what I've been told.
All right. Are you on? How'd you come in on through Insiders? The Dress
No,
Insider?
through YouTube.
Okay.
Following YouTube.
All right. So it's like Jordan was reading my mind. Cool. So Jordan, please message Andrea here if you can hit her up on YouTube. Well, I don't think we can. You came in through YouTube. Click the link that Jordan just. You don't have to do it right now, but after we're done, click the link that Jordan just posted to join us on Insiders. Okay.
Okay.
And I'm gonna type his name here. Contact Hone Hoan
Okay.
Hone Tai, right?
All right.
Okay. Hone Tai. Hone rhymes with loan. Okay.
Okay.
So you need to get a loan from Hone. He's my man. He teaches the
Okay.
Bigger Pockets boot camp with me, and he's a licensed loan officer. I don't know if he's the guy that can give you the best terms on a VA loan, but tell him Matt sent you. Okay.
Okay. All right.
And he will point you in the right direction or get you the loan himself. Okay.
Okay.
So, number one, are you renting or owning right now in your primary that you live in?
I'm renting right now.
Okay. First move. Let's get you into a house hack. Okay.
Right. That's what I want. I want a 4 family, no less than a 3, but I do want a 4.
There's no money down, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, this was great with the VA loan, and that's the least thing we could do for those that serve their country is you can get in on a 0%, no money down, and get it. If you do a seller assist on top of a VA loan, you're literally walking in a check with nothing but a pen, man. Just hey, I'm ready to, you know.
And I'm okay. Like, and that's the crazy thing is because like, it's not like I don't have like the knowledge. Like my friend right now just bought a 3 family. I like got him in contact with my contractor, and his whole 2nd and 3rd floor are done. He rented them out for like $2,100 each, and I'm just like, I don't. Where am I going wrong? And you know, I didn't want to bring any of my own money to the table because I have other things going on, as far as health wise. So I just wanted to save that on reserve.
You don't have to. You don't have to use your own money to get going in real estate. You don't. You need a little bit of your own money, like but not like 30, 40, 50 grand, right? What market are you in?
I'm in Union County, so like by Union, Kane University, New Jersey.
Yeah. Here's what's you've got an unfair advantage. Here's what's interesting. It being up there, a typical landlord won't be able to buy a 3 or 4 family because it's going to be priced at probably at least $200,000 a door, right? But you can because of the VA loan. And the rents are stupid high up there, right?
Yeah, the rents are ridiculous up here.
Yeah. You know that they're putting another tunnel in though, going to the city. Did you know that?
I did not.
Okay, so they're expanding the tunnels that go in where the path goes in and where Jersey Transit goes into the city. Okay,
correct.
They're putting in a second, like another tunnel that's going to double the amount of traffic capacity that you can have going in and out. Right. So what you want to do is you want to buy and live as close as you can to any train line going into Manhattan. That whole North Jersey part of the world is going to become the 6th borough, right?
Okay.
So as people start wanting to expand, and as the millennials and Gen Zs are like, hey, listen, man, I kind of want to raise a family, but I love the money I make in the city with my job. I love the city. I want to live close to the city, not in the city anymore. And I want to have a backyard to have this thing, these little
Right.
monsters called kids. And I want to have, whatever. So the migration out of the city and into the North Jersey area is going to happen huge. It's already gone. It's already happened.
It is. So like,
Brooklyn's already done.
Even in Newark, downtown Newark, believe it or not, has like skyrocketed. Like they're building a huge Ramella downtown, and it's literally right by the train goes straight into the city. And I'm like, listen, I'm the type of person, when I see them putting super Walmarts and stuff, they know something that of course they spend time doing the research on.
What they know. I just told you.
Exactly. So now you're telling me, I'm like, okay.
Chris Christie put it on the books. It's $1 billion project, but they're in the middle of it now, right?
Right.
So Amtrak's, I think it's Amtrak, but they're paying for it or whatever. But Jersey Transit is going to benefit from it as well. So anything that goes into the city is going to be, you'll be able to just have more trains on those train lines, right?
Okay.
So that's your unfair advantage. Well, your unfair advantage is that you can buy with very little, if no money down, right? So what you want to do is buy and then do the BRRRR strategy and but do the house hack thing. But there's another unfair advantage, Andrew. You can do it over and over and over again. You can do it, as I understand, with the right loan officer, you can do a VA loan over and over and over and over and over again, right?
Mm-hmm.
So do it. Live in it for 6 months. Do it again. I think they're part of DeRosa Insiders, but there's some friends of mine that are down in Fayetteville that are doing this over and over and over again in Vietnam that are doing taking the VA loan and buying 4 families all over Fayetteville and doing the house hack thing over and over, like buying a dilapidated 4 family, getting a VA loan on it, renovating it with their own cash or with private money, refinancing it into a second VA loan, and then moving into another one, right? With zero money down. So the leader of that company is called Shelby Osborne, and that's the company's called 5 Pillars Realty, like 5 Pillars, right?
Right.
So
5 Pillars Realty.
yeah, hit him up online. I think Shelby's part of Insiders.
Okay.
Yeah. So Insiders is free, by the way. I'm watching right now. And DeRosa Insiders is a free community, so y'all all need to join that. Okay.
All right. I definitely will.
Yeah.
5 Pillar Realty.
Yeah, 5 Pillars Realty. Just go on their website, hit them up, and like start the subject of the email is Matt Fairclough sent me. Okay.
Okay.
And just pick their brain. They might have a VA loan lender too. They might have a loan officer that can help you on that as well. But try Hone, and then try 5 Pillars Realty as well. Okay.
I'm definitely gonna try it. Thank you
so much. Join Insiders and do a post on Insiders on introducing yourself, and also letting us know how you're making out. Okay?
I definitely will.
All right.
Thank you so much, Matt. I appreciate it.
Don't forget to email live session, single word, @DeRosaGroup.com. And I want to make sure you just ask for this. Ask for a signed copy of this because you need to read this book. Eventually, you're gonna start raising other people's money. This will tell you how to do it, and we'll send you a signed copy of that. Okay.
Okay. Thank you so much. Right. I really appreciate your time.
Nice to meet you, Andrea.
You
Take
too.
care. See you. Bye. Man, that was incredible, guys. I really appreciate all you guys joining me today. Thank you. Next Friday at noon, at noon, we're gonna come back out noon Eastern. We'll be joining you guys live. And we got some more webinars, some other cool stuff we're going to be doing. And if those of you guys are looking for passive investment, we've got plenty of stuff coming in pipeline on that as well. So I'm out of breath. Thank you guys. Best live session ever. We're going to make it even better next week. So join me Friday noon. Be there, be square, put it in your calendars. Friday noon. We're going to keep doing these live sessions and chatting and doing chats with Matt. I appreciate you guys for joining. For those of you guys who join me live, please send us your information so we can send you guys free stuff like signed copies of Raising Private Capital or DeRosa bags or other cool thank you swag stuff. I appreciate you guys. I got to go take a nap now. That was incredible. I appreciate you guys for joining me today. Take care. Bye.